like this, don't come in a box score. Keenan with the Kel, just give me the rock more. Weather off the glass, nothing but the net. I'ma get you set, pick and roll, we can go with the whole four. Dick Vitale, look at diaper dandy. NCAA with the great handy.
All right, welcome to the Courtside Conference Podcast. As usual, I'm your host, Sam Scott. Got my boys, my ace, my guy Donovan with me.
Yes, sir.
Back for smoke season.
Listen, them boys 17-4. Everybody else is cooked.
Cooked. Right.
Every loss we had this year was fake. These are not real basketball games. Them two Cavs losses, fake. That Bulls game, fake. Super fake.
Oh no, the Bulls games definitely don't count. So, hold on. Can you hear me?
Don't act like that with nobody else. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, for sure. Yeah, the Bulls game, Karis LeVert gave us 40 and then didn't score over like 12 for like 3 weeks after that.
Man, let me go look at Karis LeVert's most recent games because I just already know it's gonna piss me off. Karis LeVert's like top 5 scoring games. 2 of them came against the Celtics. He's really like a disgusting man for what he does. Okay, he has scored 22 against Philly the other day, and then he scored 8 against Toronto. He didn't play like 5 games. Then he went 0 for 4 in 14 minutes against Miami. And then he scored 4 in 30 minutes against Charlotte. And then he scored 2 in 20 minutes against Milwaukee. And then he scored 13 against Minnesota. This is not a real basketball player. That 40 shit is not moving me.
It's not moving me either. And really, the refs kind of hold us out that second Bucks game too, because that Tatum dunk at the end was definitely an and one.
Definitely. Wasn't no reason for that game to go in OT.
It wasn't, so it's whatever. They don't have to see us again. And they ain't going to want to see us a second time. Because Donovan Mitchell is not going to shoot 50% on pull-ups every game against us either. So,
and it's crazy because he's a good playoff performer, but I just know, like, when Rob get in there and niggas trying to play – when we could play drop with Rob. That pull-up shit, Rob blocking somebody's shit from the three-point line, and they're going to be sick. So,
exactly.
I hate to do it to Garland.
And I think Grant was suspended that second game, too.
Yeah, I hate to do it to Garland. Fuck Donovan Mitchell. I hate to do it to Jared Allen.
Jared Allen. Love Evan Mobley, but
love Evan Mobley, but fuck Caris LeVert. Gotta do it to the boys. Getting a clean 5 games for Cleveland.
And we here today fresh off a 40-piece, 49 from Tatum yesterday. Oh, hold on. An ethical 49 at that. Not a forced 50.
Ethical buckets. He tried to force the 50 at the end, but he couldn't get it. It's okay, though. I wish he could have got his 50, but just like my boy said in the press conference, he said he was trying to get 50 for Grant birthday, but he scored 50 again before, and he'll do it again one day.
He'll do it again one day. Like, we see Miami again tomorrow too.
Them damn cockroaches in Florida.
Exactly, and they kind of had a uncharacteristically hot shooting night too. Like, what's homie name? Haywood Highsmith? Like, come on, bro. You sound like
it's
that.
not a. The thing about the Celtics, which I always think is funny, we typically do so good on stars that for teams to be successful against us, a random NBA player kind of has to do well. So that is where the Haywood Highsmiths and the Goran Dragics and the Caris LeVerts and, when Chris Middleton wasn't Chris Middleton, those type of things came from. Because it's like, we not about to be beat. It's very rare your stars are gonna beat us. So you better get this random player better have a game in his life.
Exactly, and we'll challenge the stars to beat us by themselves a lot of times too. And the only person so far to actually do it was Steph. So there's that, and that's just Steph and Steph.
Yeah. I couldn't do nothing but tip my hat off to the boy because them other people in the Bay stink. They was stinking it up.
Yeah, pretty much. Steph Wiggins with
not being the same, man.
Exactly. So it's all good. I ain't really worried about nothing. I said we play Miami again tomorrow. I think we got Brooklyn on Sunday, and then we got Toronto one day next week. I think.
Damn, this is the first game against Brooklyn this year. Yeah, we
Right.
do got Brooklyn on Sunday. Then we go to Toronto Monday, and then we got Suns on ESPN on Wednesday. Now that is going to be
It's gonna be a game.
game. That's going to be a game because I said some like in the middle of the summer, I was like, I feel like the Suns like stuff is kind of going to be kind of overblown, and I think they'll be fine at the very least in the regular season. I don't know how they're going to be in the playoffs because I know how them niggas over there get down. But
exactly.
They are fantastic, well-coached regular season team. DeAndre Ayton looked revitalized, and I don't know how that happened because he went from not even wanting to play with these niggas no more and not talking to his coach all summer to basically being the second option and sometimes first. So, yeah.
The money make you act a little different sometimes, I guess. Hey.
Shit, listen, I talked to my coach. If the team that he coached gave me 100 and whatever mil,
exactly, 125 mil make you, reconsider
I don't know what
things.
I don't care what kind of qualms he had. We figure that
out. Hey, let's get paid. Let's get these wins. So I ain't mad at them. Devin Booker off to a pretty hot start too. Him and Tatum just won Players of the Month for their respective conference.
I never really. I'm very proud of Devin Booker for what he's done. I did not think I would ever like him after he scored that fake 70 against us. But, he's grown into a likable player. And I wish him the best again. I wish him the best against everyone except us.
Absolutely.
Also, I think what made me like him for real is him getting the Lakers out the playoffs that one year.
Definitely.
Them getting the Lakers out the playoffs and talking shit to him the whole time, and Lakers fans being like, "You don't want to piss LeBron off, like y'all better watch out." And then them losing 3 more games, I was like, "Yeah,
that was it." See, that's why this kind of been the dream season because we like doing historically great stuff offensively, and the Lakers are just kind of running around being mediocre in a bunch of different ways. like when they lost that game the other night, I almost jumped out the bed.
What was they up by, like 10 with like 3 minutes left?
They was cooking, bro. They was cooking the whole game. And then late third quarter, I guess Indiana kind of got going. And that was all she wrote.
Bro, I seen that NBA player, I don't even know his name, hit that 3. I was crying laughing. Like, that was one of the funniest things I'd ever seen. Everyone on that court looked so dejected. I know a ticket to crypto.com arena is so much money, and I just can't imagine paying that much money for that to happen to my team. That's gotta hurt.
And that's the dude who stat sheet was full of zeros for the past like 4 games leading up to that too. To hit a game winner buzzer beater was crazy. I don't even know homie name. So shout out to him, whatever his name is.
Shout out to him indeed. I gotta find this.
And speaking of players, Tyrese Halliburton is balling too. The Kings are gonna regret that. They should be regretting the trade right now.
I'm glad the Kings look good this year, but Jesus Christ, they really gave him up. Absolutely.
I get way up a walk in 2010.
Very nasty.
Very nasty.
Although he did not look great in his return to Sacktown, but it's okay.
Here's what it is.
His name is Andrew Nembhard, and it's crazy because when I seen people was tweeting about it or talking about it, I was like, "Are you misspelling Neesmith? Like, what's happening?" And I was like, "Did Neesmith just hit a game winner against the Lakers? Like, this really would have been my dream come true for real."
That really would have been a dream. I was hoping I think he did hit a big 3 sometime down the stretch of that game though. So he was putting in work too. Shout out Neesmith.
Smith. I wish he could do the skill that he was drafted for with us, but I hope he thrives in his
Hope
career.
he
He
thrives.
deserves it. Maybe he
And
can come back later in the Jared Wallace role.
and that other kid on the Pacers is nice too. The Benedict Mathurin kid.
Bruh, that man, it's crazy the Pacers have him as a six man. I think it's it's been working for them, so I'm not gonna act like it's not a good strategy.
Yeah.
I mean, he cooking the second strings and then coming in and closing games, but yeah, the fact that you could have someone that can score like that coming as a six man is crazy. Because and then it's also smart because I'm looking at who comes off the bench for them. I don't know who else would score. It's Mathurin, T.J. McConnell, O'Shea Brissett, Isaiah Jackson, and Aaron Neesmith. Like there are no buckets on that bench.
Exactly. So you got to. He don't start one day, of course, but for now, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Man, it's not broke, don't fix it. He's probably gonna be like the best runner-up rookie of the year we've seen in quite some time. Like
He might.
Since Mitchell, I would probably say, and then before Mitchell, I have no clue who there. And then Paolo, Jesus Christ, that's the best rookie I have seen in my lifetime.
Wow.
Because I didn't see, I wasn't watching basketball when LeBron was there. So like when LeBron was in his rookie year, so I didn't see that. But since I've been watching basketball since around like 09, that was the best rookie I've seen in my lifetime. The only rookie I could be like, yeah, he's also up there is Blake.
Oh, Blake was nasty as a rookie, but Blake, it was weird because he was technically a second-year guy too.
Yeah, he did get hurt like that summer, and his debut was like I remember the hype around his debut.
Yeah,
that man dunked on everybody as soon as the game started. It was I ain't never seen nothing like that at the time.
I think he was the last rookie All-Star we had too.
Yeah, because Ben wasn't no All-Star,
and that was the Western Conference, like the early 2010s at that.
Yeah, I think Blake averaged 2010 when he stepped on the scene. So
yeah, Blake was nice, and that's before he could even really create his own shot too. Yeah, Blake was a man. And it's so crazy that he's coming off our bench and we only see him like one game out the week. Because it don't seem that longer though where he was like an all-star.
He really was just like he was really chilling. He's really chilling for us. And it's crazy that he was playing his heart out for the Nets and getting fucking rotisseried by Jalen. And then I thought he was gonna retire after that. And then next thing you know, he signed. And then like all summer you'd be like, oh, we should have signed Dwight Howard. Like, I can't believe y'all are giving Luke Cornett minutes, so y'all are signing Blake Griffin or all of that stuff. And then we lose 2 games to the Cavs. Everybody acting like, oh, Brad don't know what he's doing. Brad never been wrong. Never been wrong.
Never been wrong. Ain't missed yet.
Ran off 10 straight wins after that.
Yes, sir. And Luke Cornett is doing his job well too. So shout out Luke. Shout out the white guy. Shout out Luke. Shout out Sam. Shout out Pritchard.
I honestly thought we was gonna mess up Trey's white boy rule and it was gonna bite us in the butt. Shout out to Trey. But
shout out Trey.
But yeah, it's worked out. Sam is the Matt Ryan that we wanted. I can't believe people is getting mad at us for not re-signing Matt Ryan. And the Lakers just cut him.
Ain't it? Just cut him. They was mad about Matt Strus last year too. So he was with us for a little bit.
Max Strus did Lord knows what in that Heat series. And it was just like, oh my God, I can't imagine if y'all had him. Okay, sure.
All right, bet. Watch this.
Sure. Yes. Whatever. Brad ain't never missed. Shout out to Big Brad, my GM. That is my
Big
GM.
Brad.
Big Brad. That is my GM. That's my coach still to this day. But shout out Joe.
Yeah, shout out Coach of the Month, Joe. Big Joe.
Coach of the Month. Put Coach of the month in front of that.
He said, Joe said this head coaching stuff is sweet. He said the league is too easy.
And Brad said, "Listen, I've been an assistant coach for 3 years. I done seen it all already.
You know, so,
I
you know, he didn't
I know where y'all niggas went wrong. I got it.
got it.
I know
And
where y'all fucking up."
I didn't realize how long Joe had been with the team till I was like looking yesterday and saw that he got hired in 2019. So that's the year right after. So that's fresh after Kyrie leaving.
I like all the stuff that was coming out about him when we hired him was so like it was so fake to me because I was just like, this man has been on the staff since 2019. Yeah, they
Yeah.
obviously did their due diligence when it happened, and or when they hired him originally, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
it, y'all don't even like know the details of whatever happened. Y'all are just like saying things just to say things. It's like, all right, well, we
And they
y'all want to hold it. It's just it was whatever.
and they tried to frame him as an email guy at 1.2, but he's really, but he's really a Brad guy.
Brad got through and through.
Yeah. So he was there the year that Tatum and them actually made the leap.
He was there to see the true growth.
Yeah, he was there for the bubble run. He was there for the disaster season after that. He was there for the trip to the finals. They credit him a lot for fixing the offense last season at that.
Bro, he was there for Tristan Thompson getting meaningful
Yeah.
minutes.
So he's not new to this. So these is really his guys. He really kind of helped raise these guys too and develop them a
Two
lot later.
disaster seasons in 3 years. That's really crazy.
Pretty much. Last year started off rough, but we bounced back. And people thought this year was going to be another one.
Bro, I knew I was not worried about the start of this year. I was like, it's the same personnel and
Same
basically the
person.
same offense. And this man was here beforehand. I already know for a fact, like Tatum already took the leap, Brown already took the leap. If anything, they'll take another leap. Like, I'm not worried about them just
Right.
because they lost a coach. Like, if any sport coaching matters the least amount, it is basketball.
Absolutely. It's not
I'm not gonna
football where the
yeah, I'm
coach
not
has
gonna
to call a play every possession. So
yeah, I'm not gonna act like coaching don't matter at all, but it's like if it we have seen many a teams overcome being mid coaches. Hell, Giannis has a ring, and he has one of the middest coaches I have ever seen in my life. Coach Bud
Giannis
should have gotten fired after they won the ring.
Giannis ran up the ring with his coach and supporting cast trying to sabotage him every game of the way. So,
Yeah.
and the
It's
Lakers won a ring with Frank Vogel too. So,
Coach Bud figured out a whole season and 8 playoff games into the season. Hey, maybe I should use Giannis as a role man.
and that was a wrap.
Crazy.
That was all she
Crazy
wrote.
dude.
Fast. And speak, our defense is a little underrated. I think it's a lot better than the numbers actually say, because you aren't running up big leads nightly without a serviceable defense at least.
Yeah,
So I
it's
think
like you
after,
have to.
so I think after last night game we're at 19th because we gave a lot of points. But we give up. But the Heat were just hot. But on average, we give up a lot of points because we go up big and then they kind of take their foot off the gas for at least one quarter and let the team come back. Then they lock down for 5 minutes and run the lead back up.
Like the Hornets got beat 140 to 105. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
are you really like? Are you really scoring? Did you really score that many points?
exactly. Like,
And then the Wizards were getting blown out all game, basically, or at least like after that third quarter. And then they only lost by 9, technically, just because they scored 33 in the fourth because the bench was being stupid. The Kings
right.
scored 104, and they was getting beat majority of the game. It's like to see. I know Jalen and Jason are somewhere close to the top of the league in transition buckets, and you can't get that many transition buckets if you aren't playing good defense or getting stops in some form of capacity.
Exactly. So, like I said, defense, girl, Derek White is defending at a crazy level, and he's shooting at a crazy level. I think Derek has actually probably made the biggest leap out of anybody not named Tatum, just in terms of where he was with us last season, offensively he kind of looked out of place or just didn't know his place a lot of times. So now he's just like a sniper fitting seamlessly, making all the right plays.
That man was playing some of the best defense I'd ever seen in that playoffs and selling on that 3-point line.
Yeah.
And still making really good plays. And I really couldn't be mad at him for nothing. I could be mad at him for missing threes. I'm like, damn, you doing everything else I could ask for on the basketball court. Like you hitting floaters, you driving, you finding niggas. And now he came back a shooter. It's really crazy to see.
And him and Brogdon, it's just him, Brogdon, and Marcus is an incredible fit together.
Just truly a three-headed dragon. Like I just cannot imagine being guarded by Marcus Smart and seeing Marcus Smart checking out, and then Malcolm Brogdon and Derek White are coming off the bench to also guard you.
Right. And then they running it, and then they hitting back at you offensively too at that.
Bro, Marcus' offense has been great. I love
Marcus'
this man
offense
so
has been
much.
great too.
That is another man who has never proved me wrong. He always come back better every season, and it's so crazy to see. Like everybody be like, "Oh, you don't need to be a starting point guard." Last year came back crazy. Oh, he needs to be a 2. Oh, Malcolm Brogdon needs to start over him. Love Malcolm. That boy came in, doing his thing, but Marcus has basically shown like I'm him. I was him before that. I've been him. I'm the third best player on this team.
Marcus, he earned his spot. He keeping it. Like they took the chance on making him the starter when everybody was like, they need a point guard. They put the ball in his hands last year. Putting the ball in his hand last year was one of the biggest reasons for the turnaround. And now he got
niggas to pass the ball, and they started winning games.
Exactly. And now he got efficient shooting splits to match everything else. So you really can't tell us nothing about Marcus no more. I'm not hearing it no more. Shout out Marcus. I think he was shooting like 44% from the field going into yesterday's game, which is just ridiculous. I remember when he was statistically the worst volume shooter of all time. His first like 3 seasons.
Yeah, he's him. Honestly, for me, him getting a driving game and a little bit of a post game, and like being able to finish, is way more important to me than him hitting threes.
Easily, because he's such a big physical guy. So he's a mismatch for most point guards. Like that Thunder game, he really took it to them, just driving to the rack, like down the stretch. And that's after he was playing awful for most of that game too.
That man see the Thunder and just like go crazy. I don't know what it is about the Thunder, but that boy get to OKC and just start getting down. Or he see them OKC jerseys and just start getting down.
Boy, Marcus, man. And I said, we doing all this without Rob.
Bruh, all this without Rob.
Without Rob.
That boy.
And last but certainly not least, shout out Al Horford, fresh contract extension this morning.
Bro, I can't believe I didn't even like. That wasn't even something I thought about. It was just.
It wasn't. I thought it either. I thought it was gonna be something that worked itself out, and now it's worked itself out mad early.
And then now they were saying, I think we got more room to sign Grant later, but like it's been great. I'm glad to see Al back. He could take as much break as he wants because I know we're gonna need him in them playoffs.
Oh,
I get my boy a ring while he do some great things. So solidify his Hall of Fame appearance.
Absolutely.
I need my boy to get his little jacket. I don't even know if they give jackets in the NBA Hall of Fame, but I need my boy to get his jacket.
They gonna give him. They better give him something. He gonna get a jacket. If not, we don't get on one. God dang it.
Trophy, a sweater, or something.
Hey, shout out Al. Shout out my boy Josh and Josh Horford, Al's bro. That's my guy right there too. Shout out him. And
Shout out,
and all
niggas need to leave her alone.
please stop
Niggas
bothering
need to
Anna.
leave
Please.
Anna Horford alone.
Please let that girl cook.
It's okay for her to be horny on the TL. She's an adult. Just mute her or block her. It's okay.
It's that simple, man. It's that simple. And let's get into Jalen for a little bit too. I feel like Jalen has come under the most heat out of anybody on the team for some odd reason this season. Granted, he could stand to turn the ball over a lot less. I won't deny that, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not really that important or that big of a deal. Because his turnovers come by him just being like a little over aggressive and going into bad spots, I guess. So it happens. It's whatever.
With the way that Jalen is, it's like, yeah, for me, I don't be mad at him when he turned the ball over like that. One, because it really don't lose that many games like that. Like, even with him turning the ball over, the Celtics as a whole aren't that bad at turnovers. So, like, if Jalen is the one who turns it over out the team, whatever it is. But two, it's like, there's a reason second options are second options, and it's because they all have some type of flaw that is keeping them from being a first option. And if Jalen was really good at not turning the ball over and finding niggas, he would probably be a super max nigga. And he's just not, and that's fine.
That's cool.
I will gladly take his 4 turnovers a game.
As
if
long
he
as
gives me 26 points
26
a
game on 50% shooting at that.
50% shooting, please.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Turn that ball over your 4 times. One a quarter. I don't even care. Do what you can. Dribble off your foot. Have fun. Have fun. That is the best second. That is arguably the best second option in basketball. Like, it's really only him and a healthy Anthony Davis. Like, and if anything, Anthony Davis is the number 1 option now. So it's like, that's the best. That's the best second option in basketball. So I don't really know what to say. So
he don't hinder Tatum game at all either. He can play off ball. Him and Marcus got a crazy connection at this point too. Like, I watched that late game live last night like 10 times today alone.
What late game live?
Last night is like the last 2 minutes or so. Then they was kind of like, the defense like really focused on Tatum, so Jalen kind of like snuck back door and tried to lob over Lowry, like late at the last 2 minutes or so.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you said lob. I thought you said lab. I thought you said late game live.
Oh no, lob.
Yeah.
And that's not thing. Last night he sat the whole third quarter because of foul trouble. And then with Tatum on the bench to start the first like 4 minutes of the fourth, him, Marcus, and Dare, they really held it down.
Bro, Jalen be holding it down. Like, I feel like I remember seeing one time somebody had tweeted like, if Jalen has a bad game, Tatum will bail him out, but Jalen has never bailed out Tatum when Tatum has a bad game. And I was like, 1, niggas are lying. But 2, it's like, there are times when Tatum goes to the bench and we obviously do not look as great and when he is on the court. That is one of the best players in the league. That's just not how that works.
That happens. That's not how that works.
They're gonna look a little bit worse. It is what it is. But for the most part, my boy be holding that bitch down. Like, when Tatum don't play, he averaged like 30 something. I think they say he averaged like 30, 10, and like 6 assists. Marcus do his job a little bit more. He's a little bit more aggressive as a scorer. It's just like, of course, we're not going to win every game without our best player, but
and our best player is top 5 level at this point too. So that's a big drop off. So it's what it is.
Our best player is arguably MVP, and more than likely, if he's not in the lineup, you're replacing him with like Grant Williams. Like, yes, our offense is gonna look a little bit worse. Our defense is gonna look worse. It's just how the game goes. I know Tatum be holding it down without Jalen being there, but I know for a fact he would much rather play with Jalen than anybody else.
Exactly. See, know when it's wartime with them boys are going. He know how they get active, so it is what it is.
He know how they get down. I know how they get down. I ain't gotta. I don't know what everybody else know, and I don't know why everybody acting brand new at this point. But I know when it's wartime, I know they want each other to play more than anybody else, and they gonna get right.
Exactly. So act like y'all been here before. Act like y'all know how this go, because y'all do know how this go. Come on now.
A healthy Celtics team get them boys are winners.
Exactly. And Rob coming back by Christmas, hopefully.
Bro, who do we play on Christmas? Milwaukee again?
We play Milwaukee again.
Boy, last Christmas was my heart.
Yeah, last Christmas was rough.
I'm glad I got my get back from the playoffs because last Christmas was crap. Last Christmas was. I was like, bro, what is going on?
And I can't wait to. I hope we smash them with Chris Middleton in the lineup.
Man, I need 230 pieces from both men because it's just like I can't. What if Chris Middleton was here? It's like
Middleton better give us a 40 ball fresh out the gates on Christmas.
I guess I do understand missing one of your better players is bad. You can talk yourself into that, but also the Celtics also were missing key players throughout this whole. Like Rob missed like 3 games out that series. I think Marcus missed like 1. It's like this is not a one-way street of missing players.
It's not.
Like, if Chris Middleton was there, we would have won in 5. Like,
stop it.
Sure. Line is cool though. So I mean, I fuck with Line. I understand.
Let's let him rock.
If Tatum was missing out of the series, I lie about some shit too. Or, if Marcus was missing out of the series, I lie about some shit too. I understand.
Exactly. So it is what it is. But the Bucks are rolling right now, but that's not surprising because Giannis got this regular season stuff figured out. So that's what he do. They don't roll. They don't roll all season with without Middleton, whoever.
Mr. Running Dunk Man, boy, is crazy.
Yeah. So that's what he do.
He's an amazing player, one of the best players I've ever seen in my life. I hated the no skill thing. I'm glad to see him thriving, but when he plays us, rest in piss. He also kind of scares me because, I mean, I think we talked about this before, but when Giannis be losing, that he get kind of reckless.
He get mad, right? He start overdoing it.
And it's not even like it's not on no type of malicious stuff. It really just be like he's just trying to win, and so he's going super hard against the Wizards because they're 9th seed right now. Maybe they win a playing game. The Wizards or the Hawks, either one.
Yeah, one of them. There we go.
Toronto and Brooklyn are the 7th seed, and I do not want to play either one of them niggas. I think we'll beat the shit out of Brooklyn too, but I just don't want to do it right now. Brooklyn can play Milwaukee.
Please.
Then we could play Indiana or Philly because I know we'll beat the shit out of either one of them. Yeah, preferably Indiana because I'm super not worried about that. Embiid, I'm just not trying to deal with that for 5 games or whatever with him falling and shit on the floor.
Emphasis on 5 games.
Then play the Cavs. And then we play somebody like Memphis or the Pelicans or something in the finals.
I'll take the Nuggets in the finals. That's a smooth 6 games.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I respect Joker, so I'm gonna give him a game or 2.
I know if Jokic gets to that finals, he is going to act up. Like he already be acting up in the playoffs anyway.
Yeah.
And I just know, like, if he gets to that finals, he is going to get down. I think we'll still win, but he is going to hurt my heart many times.
You gotta respect the guy like that. Or it's that account for not really worried about Murray or Michael Porter over the course of a long series.
I gotta see Murray. I don't know. Murray gotta show me, and it's not really his fault. It's just injuries.
Definitely, Michael Porter Jr. gotta show me too.
Oh no! He definitely got to show me.
He got to show it, man.
He has to show me.
He
like
does. I ain't seen it. So I ain't seen it yet. So he got to show me.
I'm more worried about Aaron Gordon than I am Michael Porter Jr. Aaron Gordon's backdoor cut scared me, and then a Michael P. Jordan pull up.
Exactly. So ain't worried about
Michael
that.
P. Jordan, Michael Porter Jr.
Ain't even worry about that. But the West as a whole is weird at the moment.
It's like I don't want to. I feel like the Warriors are gonna make a run and they're gonna get to the finals, and I'm gonna be so mad. Like they're 11-11, and they're a 9th seed. The Mavericks are an 8th seed. The Jazz are a 7th seed. The Kings are a 6th seed. The Clippers. I mean, I feel like they'll figure it out, but it really just depends on what the hell is wrong with Kawhi. And then Memphis, Pelicans, and Denver are 4, 3, and 2. So it's like
they all separated by a game or two in the standings at that. So one back-to-back loss for anybody moves them from like the 4th to the 9th seed at this point.
So yeah, and then Phoenix is up the top, and they're sitting pretty right now. And I think they'll be, I think they'll be great. I don't know if I want to play them either but I feel like Rob gonna put DeAndre in the locker, so we have to see. DeAndre gonna have to show me in the playoffs.
He don't have to show me in the playoffs too. Especially after I saw him get posted up by Luka last year. He got to show me. You can't be a big man get posted up by a guard wing. Nobody with less height the way that you. Now you got to show me, big fella. Sorry. And who else? And Chris Paul got to show me if he still can go the distance when it gets to the end of the year too.
Do you know how happy I would be if we beat Chris Paul in a playoff series for a ring? I will celebrate to kingdom come.
Hey,
I need his downfall so bad.
Streets need it, man. We need it. And speaking of the West is just, I can't sell myself on some of them teams. The Grizzlies, I can't sell myself on a team with Dillon Brooks taking up that many minutes and shot attempts on nightly.
Dillon Brooks think he's the best player on that team. So it's like I don't know what's wrong with him. Like he needs to let them go, or they need to trade him to somebody. Trade him to somebody that like a team that doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Because otherwise, he's like actively sabotaging them every time he's on the court. I ain't never seen a player. He's really the personification of it's Dillon Brooks time for real. They are so much better. They really should have beat Memphis last year in like 5. I mean, they really should have beat the Timberwolves last year in like 5.
But they couldn't get out their own way. Jaren Jackson is another one that he got to show me something to.
He gonna, if we play them in the finals somehow, he gonna foul out within like 3 minutes. Like I know he's a great defender, but also know he's very quick to foul. And I already know Tatum and Brown gonna have him in hell because they're going to go run through this man's chest.
Got to. Foul. He don't really like to play inside and like grab extra boards or anything either. So
like he's gonna be shooting threes and shit gonna be hurting.
Like when Steven Adams would get run off the court last year in the playoffs, he really wasn't. They really ain't had no big man insurance. Like talking about just Jaren, like I said, he was always in foul trouble. So it was rough for them boys, man. They got to show me too. Shout out Ja though. Shout out Desmond Bain too. He hooping.
Hey, that's one man people complain about. It's not drafted. That's the only person I'll be like, oh, I can see it. But at the same time, I like how our roster is.
Exactly. I ain't even tripping. The Pelicans, they got to show me some growth too. They trying though. They a little up and down.
It's like, do I worry about a team with Brandon Ingram as their best player? This is no knock to Brandon Ingram. No. It's just like
It's level. It's little levels to this, you know. That's all it is.
Yeah, I know.
And people want to say him and Tatum is the same tier of player, and it's like, no, nah. With all due respect, nah.
With all due respect, it's just no.
Nah,
That's not how it works. I'm sorry to
not
tell
how
you.
that works. Zion looking a little spry lately though, so good for him.
It's great. I'm proud of him. I just haven't
Yeah,
seen a championship in a while without like a top like five player, or at least like
yeah.
someone playing like a top five player. And neither one of them niggas on the Pelicans are top five players or top 10 for that matter. So
Yeah, I said Zion don't get there one day, but he got to put it together. He got to just stay the course, so he don't get there. I hope. They got a cute little team though.
let's see, Herb Jones, Jose Alvarado.
Oh yeah, I rock with Herb and Jose. Yeah, I would love them on the Celtics if ever possible. Those are my type of guys. That
I guess you don't like him.
yo,
I have no clue what is happening.
the hell happened to you?
I don't know. My whole thing just went like I didn't even like press nothing.
Oh shit, that's crazy.
But
But we back home.
yeah,
But yeah,
Jose, Herb Jones, they cool.
they cool. The Blazers got a decent little squad, but I don't think they real contenders. But if the West is gonna be shaky all year, they might be.
They at least contenders for the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
Dame,
I feel like it's really like 7 teams in the Western Conference Finals contenders. It's only because
the conference as a whole isn't that
the
great
conference mid.
at this point. I said Dame is still Dame. Simmons is a dog. Jeremy Grant playing good ball.
That man gave the Knicks a 40-piece.
Yeah. So they got some like they finally put some size around Dame. It only took a decade. So they got a nice little squad.
Who your teams? Who your teams that you or people that you can't bet on now?
The can't bet list. I'm running out of people to bet on at this point. Let's see. Who sold me last night? Jaren Jackson is on the no bet list. He's public enemy number one after last night's debacle. Who else? The Sixers are currently on the no bet list as the whole team. Who else? It's a long list. I'm gonna save the Fred VanVleet story till last. But no, he's public enemy number one on the no bet list. I'm gonna tell that story in a minute though. I'm gonna throw us a list. Halliburton, I'm gonna give him another chance. Cause he kind of sold me last week, but he rolled his ankle, so that's not his fault. I need like one more rebound, and he like got hurt the last minute of the game, so I couldn't get it. And the Celtics are on the no bet list just because I don't want to jinx nothing they got going on. So I try my hardest to leave them off. Like, so I don't want to like they be rolling, so I don't want the one time I put them on my ticket for them to have an awful game.
Listen, I can respect when niggas switch up their habits to not jinx the Celtics.
Yeah.
Brandon don't be tweeting about the Celtics because he feel like he a jinx. I can respect that.
Like the one time I think early in the year I had Jalen. I took his over like that game against Orlando. He had a rough game, so I think That might have been the last time. No, I had Derek on one the other day. Yeah, I had Derek on a couple like this past week because his over on points is always at like 11, 12 a game. So that's good money. Derek don't get that easy. But on average, unless it's like a 2 or 3 game slot and the Celtics the only team playing, they never on my ticket. So I said I don't want to jinx them. The Raptors are working their way as a whole on the no bet list with their very stagnant offense is killing me. And who else? Western Conference. Pat Bev is on the no. He should have never been on the list again, but he's on the no bet list.
Has he scored over like 10 points this whole season?
I have no idea. His over was set at like 5 points the other night. That man did not get a single bucket. I said, you are kidding me.
He scored 5 against Portland.
It was who was it? I think it was Phoenix where I had him just needed him to score like 6. So that man had none and then got ejected. So,
he's averaging 4 points, 4 rebounds, and 2.8 assists on. Okay, I want you to guess the field goal percentage, not 3-point percentage, field goal percentage.
I know it's sub 40%.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with like 38 or something.
No.
What is it?
26.8.
Yeah, Pat just running around there being annoying. I ain't gonna say disruptive, just being annoying at this point. But
he scored 5 points on 2 for 7 shooting the other day. He scored 0 on 0 for 2 shooting the game before that. Then 3 on 1 for 5, 4 on 1 for 3, 2 on 1 for 5, 5 on 2 for 8, 7 on 2 for 8, 5 on 2 for 2, and then 0 on 0 for 3.
See, that's another thing I don't understand about the Lakers. I don't understand what Patrick Beverly is doing to stay in the starting lineup. Or stay in a rotation in general at this point.
He has not scored over 7 points. He's not scored over 7 points since the season has started.
Yeah, man. Pat is just there to take up space and be annoying at this point. I don't even think he's having a real big defensive impact. But I will say I got a good laugh out of that day he tried to flop to win. Who was it against Portland? Like early the year when Russ took that midi to lose the game, and Pat tried to redeem it by flopping that mid court.
Yeah, he's an interesting fellow,
to say the least. And for some reason, he think he can hold Tatum. I don't understand that one.
Bro, I've seen that little interview, whatever, and he was like, he always gives him fits. Mind you, I know for a fact, every time Tatum played the Clippers, his eyes light up. There was really like a 2-year stretch where when the Clippers was on the lineup, it was a 40 ball.
That's a 40 piece.
I know Pat Bev did not stop any of that. But also, there have been like Pat Bev talk about any player, and you would think like he was shutting that down like one-on-one for real.
You would think the way he be talking. Or during the summer, he was like Marcus Smart winning Defensive Player of the Year made him want to go harder. He was trying to figure out what he needed to do to have a chance at winning. I was like, oh.
It's not your wheelhouse.
It's different levels, man. It's different levels to this.
It's not your wheelhouse, and that's okay.
It's okay. It's, like I said, everybody's different levels. Everybody can't be on our guys' level when it comes to things. It's okay. It's okay. But let me tell you this Fred VanVleet story real quick. So opening night of the league, I think like the second night where they had like the 12 game slot, I picked like a 7-leg parlay, and I just knew this was the one because everything hit except for him. I needed him to score 18. He had 15 with like the first 3 minutes of the third quarter. So I said, "Oh, this is guaranteed." This man did not shoot. This man did not take another shot the rest of the game.
Bro, that Raptors offense is so weird.
That broke me right there, bro. When I tell I walked around work the rest of the night, just not talking to nobody.
May
I
I ask
was
how much money you were gonna win if it hit?
I was gonna win at least like 5, I think. Off like $5 at that. And it was my birthday weekend, so I was looking forward to that money. That was a guarantee for like 45 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's disrespectful.
I told my co, I said, yeah, we don't go to the gym after work. Son, when that parlay ain't hit, he said, we still doing us tonight. I'm going home, bro. I drove straight home. I said, I'm not doing this. But you lose some, you win some, you live to gamble another day. Anybody listening, do not pick up the habit of the gambler. That's an awful habit to have.
Yeah, anybody listening, Sam needs an intervention.
I had another one lose by 1 game last night too. That's why Jaren Jackson is on the shit list. But it's the Grizzlies as a whole. Because how do you lose to the Timberwolves with no cat?
Bruh, I seen that. Mind you, I don't know if you've seen, but the Memphis out rebounded them by 30 rebounds.
Bro, Gobert had 1 rebound.
Gobert had 9 points and 1 rebound, and they lost.
And they lost. They was letting D-Lo hit Darius out there. I said, this is ridiculous. And that comes after them being like close the whole quarter at that. And then what did Ja get ejected for at that? Did you see?
No.
I didn't see either. I just saw that he got kicked out the game. I said, this is red. It was one thing I learned. The games are definitely red at this point. But it's cool though. As long as they rigged it for us to win this championship, I'm cool on everything. We here. So outside the Bucks in the East, is there any team you worried about, like going forward in the season?
Cavs, maybe.
Maybe.
I do like what they have going on there. I mean, like I said, Mitchell's great. I just hate him. And he didn't even do nothing. I just hate him. I love Darius Garland. Mobley's wonderful. I love Jared Allen. I just think what they're building there is very nice. I'm not entirely worried because, again, it's really hard to win without top 5 talent or even top 10, and I just don't think they have that. Donovan Mitchell was playing like that very early in the season, and I don't think that's really like held up.
Just gonna hold up the whole season. Yeah, I don't know. I could see them. I don't think they don't flame out early, but I don't think I can see them winning the conference because I don't think that Allen or Mobley physically are a match for Giannis at this point. Because I think they've matched up. I think they played like last week, and the Cavs off like 15 at one point. And then Giannis and Brooke kind of flipped the switch the second half, and that was pretty much all she wrote for that game. So I think as long as we get Rob back, that's gonna be a winnable matchup for us.
Yeah, that's really what they.
Very much. See, Bucks. Not worried about Philly. Brooklyn. Brooklyn is an interesting team. Because I could see them putting together something by the end of the season. But at the same time, it's very just unlikely that they just hold up consistently, I think.
They've been moving so nasty, and as we always say, the basketball gods typically do not reward nasty. So I mean, KD has tried to remain whole throughout this whole thing.
KD is
Kyrie
trying.
has not. The owner definitely has not. Ben, I got some sympathy for my boy. I
Ben
think
is trying to.
He's trying to take that KD path of just hooping. And I can respect that. They get TJ Warren back. He's not like bubble TJ Warren, of course, but that's a very good person to have coming off your bench. So, I think they're trying to get some things, but
it's just
basketball doesn't really
consistency.
reward nasty.
It doesn't. So I don't know. Jock Vaughn is trying. I think he's getting some guys going. But it's like some nights they look like they got it, and then some nights they just don't. So that's a weird thing. I don't know. I hope the Pacers at least hold on to make the playoffs because they're kind of a young team. So I don't know if this hot start is kind of real or if it's going to fizzle out later. But if they do make the playoffs, they're going to give somebody a very annoying first round series. Halliburton is probably gonna make the All Star team. Buddy is solid. I said that Matherin kid, he's a stud. He don't get the starting lineup by the end of the season, hopefully, maybe. And who else? Miami. I think they gonna pull it together at some point.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm glad they stink right now, but I can't bring myself to believe that they'll be that way the rest of the season.
Nah, because Bam is starting to really get going finally.
Right, he's trying to score.
Because he was hitting some tough jumpers last night. So as long as he stay aggressive for the long run, it's just he got to stay aggressive when Jimmy get back, and that's going to beat them. That's going to determine how their season goes. Those two can cut together the rest of the year. Along with Tyler Hero not just shooting them out of games too. And how do we feel about the Hawks?
Basketball guys don't war ugly. DeJounte Murray, it's like when Trae Young be talking shit, it be cool, and he usually be backing it up. But I don't know. DeJounte Murray ain't usually really used to winning situations. And all
Yeah,
that stuff they was doing against the Rockets, and then blowing it to the Rockets,
that
and then
was
they went
so
on a
weird.
3-game winning streak after a 3-game losing streak after that. I mean, they won they won their last game they played, but it's like I don't know. I can't bring myself to
I
worry
don't
about them
know.
either because it's like Dejounte Murray and Trae Young. I'm sure.
They lack they lack like maturity as a team, and they lack like what's the one I'm looking for? They lack like creators in general outside of Trey and Murray, of course. Because what's his name? John Collins is. I'm not sure what he really does at a high. I don't think he does. He's a good player, but I don't think he does anything on the floor at a high enough level to really boost them to contender status. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Clint Capella, he's who he is.
Yeah, it's like Clint. It's crazy that like all these players that people were begging for us to get, they are not that good.
They aren't.
All these players that people were like, we need to sell the farm for it. Like, can you imagine if we had some type of rotation of Jalen, Jason, and Clint Capella? Like that was like our big three. Like,
But
or Jalen, Jason, and Miles Turner. Like,
where like Ricky Rubio starting at point guard. Like if you let the timeline build the Celtics, we'd be in a very rough spot.
Yeah, it'd be an extremely nasty season.
Extremely nasty season. Like, oh no, bro. It's crazy. And in the West, like we said, that conference could go anywhere. So we don't have to check back on them this time in like 2 more weeks to see if it looks any different, because that's a weird conference at the moment. Like I said, the Suns got this regular season stuff figured out. Jokic, he got this regular season stuff figured out. Now the Mavs are the team to really watch at this point. Because I don't know
Like,
what direction they're
they
trending
so
in.
fake good and so fake not good.
Yeah, like Luka is the guy, obviously. But letting Luka do everything is not. I think it's already hit its cap at this point. So I don't understand how they watch Brunson hoop like that in the playoffs and then go right back to Luka only ball the very next season.
Bro, Luca saved them. I mean, Brunson saved them so many times, and they rewarded him and Luka by just letting him go.
Yeah, and it's like y'all don't have big money guys on the roster, so I don't. And Brunson is a very tradable player in general. So if you matched him out, he would have been. First off, nobody's untradeable at this point, except for like maybe Russ. That's because the Lakers are stupid. But yeah, you could have gave him the match, and if you felt the need to move on from it later, they could have easily just done that. So I just don't understand what kind of. I don't understand the team they really want to be.
They don't know. They just want it to be as white as possible.
Yeah, pretty much. Like during the playoffs,
Aryan race Mavericks.
Like during the playoffs, they was like a gritty defensive team who was moving the ball and could always just throw it to Luka to take over when necessary. And it's like none of that returned this current season. So I don't know. Maybe they'll figure out for the sake of getting jokes up. I hope they kind of flame out and like be a play-in team or something. That'd be funny. I like to see the Luka fanboys like in shambles when you call like the Mavericks a loser or something like that.
I need that.
Need that. But it's what it is. Said championship season on the way.
Chip season on the way.
Chip season on the way. The Bulls are slowly but surely flaming out as we speak.
I need that L so bad.
I thought the Pistons would look ready to take the step forward this year, but they're and who else? Some young teams that's looking away. I don't know what the Hornets have going on.
They don't know either.
What's wrong with LaMelo? Do you know?
Ain't his ankle hurt?
I thought he came back from that though. Did he get hurt again?
Let me see something.
Can you pull that up real quick? Because I don't remember him getting hurt this second. I remember him coming back from the injury, and then I looked again. He was just out of the lineup.
Oh no! You know what happened? You remember when he played and he stepped on a fan foot?
Yeah.
I think he twisted his ankle again because he hasn't played since.
Wow.
He's only played 3 games this year.
Okay. That makes a
lot
of sense.
November the 12th, November the 14th, November the 16th.
Okay, got you. Jesus Christ. Dang, so he twisted his ankle over a fan and just missed the rest of the month then.
Which is insane.
That's
I would be so pissed.
Right? That's wild. And the Clippers are another team that could really get it together at some point, but I don't know if Kawhi hoops anymore, so that's if Kawhi is hooping, then you gotta give him that respect. But if he's not, which he hasn't been, I don't know where they're going from here. And Paul George has been in and out the lineup too. So I don't know what they have going on over there. But I know I'm tired of the timeline calling that trade the worst trade ever, like once a month at this point.
Yeah, it's unfortunate what's going on. I mean, they still went to a Western Conference Finals, and they still have the pieces, and it's not like the niggas died or something. It's just like,
right.
Shit happens. You make that trade 10 times out of 10.
You made that trade 10 times out of 10. If it means getting Kawhi in prime form, well, Paul George, who's also in peak form at the time, I think you still do that. Because the thing about draft picks is draft picks got to come back as good players eventually.
Right. And 80% of the time, they submit. I mean, you see, even with, and Scotty Barnes is young, so I don't take this as I don't want anybody taking this as slander, but he's been struggling this season.
Yeah.
And even with how good he looked last year, it hasn't looked as good since. And, if this is him or he doesn't get that much better than his rookie year, it's was it really worth it instead of trading it for a player?
Just like with the Warriors, they held on to that number. They hit the number 2 pick and took Wiseman. He kept trying to 2 timeline us to death, but it's just like, really? Like, I get it, but you didn't draft the correct players for this whole 2 timeline talk that y'all keep trying to force on us. So, like, the draft picks are cool to have, but like I said, they have to return the profit.
Absolutely.
So, it's like, your draft picks can either turn into a Jason Tatum, and with all due respect, they can also turn into a James Wiseman, and you have to send your second overall pick to the G League, fresh off in year 3. So,
Lord,
yeah,
he need to go somewhere that team that doesn't matter, like the Magic or something. Like I
yeah.
don't know. It's just I feel like if you can't play with Curry, then you probably are like really bad. But I don't know. He also really He needs a place that is willing to let him fail at the same time.
Exactly, because with the Warriors, you gotta come in and play high level hoops every single day. You can't have I ain't say you can't have off games, but you gotta at least know how to play high level hoops in some capacity. Which Wiseman, Kaminga, nor Moody really know how to do at the moment.
Absolutely not.
So, which is why they should have either traded the pick or simply just drafted the better players that were on the board at the time. Because a project player next to Steph Curry doesn't make any sense at all.
I know he'd be pissed.
And Jordan Poole has came back down to earth this season a lot too.
You don't move me.
The pool party is over.
Pool party got chlorine in it.
Got chlorine in it. Pool needs a new filter. Sorry. That's all right.
Needs a new filter.
Let's pack
So they've been clean since the summer.
Let's pack that up, man. So we got a good season shaping up so far. Got a few contenders. Got the best offense ever currently. Defense getting there. Rob back by Christmas. So we don't see. Some tough matchups this week ahead. I hate that we don't end up playing Toronto without Al. Because the Raptors are just like they're not better than us, but they're just an extremely annoying matchup.
Annoying. I've never played a more annoying team in my life. There's
Like,
never been a team this annoying.
Like those 2 preseason games going to overtime, it's just the most ludicrous thing in the world to me.
Bro, I feel like every time we play them, it goes into overtime. You remember when we played them without it was Marcus and the bench guys, and it went to overtime?
Yeah. We thought Nesmith hit the game winner at the end of the regulation. That was the wildest game ever, bro.
Nasty. Like no matter how good or bad they're going to hang around for some.
They don't hang around, and they want that matchup with us. You can tell they really want to win those games against us. Whether it's preseason, whether our bench is playing, like they really want those W's.
Shit, they need them.
They do need them. So we don't see. And back to your Scotty Barnes point earlier, I think he kind of got a little gassed up. I don't want to say he was like overrated, but he definitely he's like early Tatum to an extent, where he came into like the dream scenario for a young player, especially of like his talents, to where down that he fit in so well year 1, they expect him to take the reins as a lead already. Like, you know how after Tatum rookie season, they tried to bring him in and hopefully he turned into the guy year 2, but he just like literally wasn't ready at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it didn't mean he's a bad player. He's never done ready. It's just at the moment he was not ready. I think that Scotty's just in that predicament more or less. And I think Evan Mobley is kind of in that same area, but for him it doesn't matter as much as they brought in Donovan Mitchell. So
yeah, I would have loved to see them without Donovan Mitchell, but
yeah, but I get it. when the offense got like real stagnant last year, and Garland is like what 6'1", 6'2",
Yeah.
and when your next best shot creator is Karis LeVert, yeah, you better go get Donovan Mitchell. So I get it. It is what it is, and it's working out. So, and before we leave, we gotta laugh at when people said Danny Ainge took the wrong Donovan Mitchell trade for not taking RJ Barrett. Pull up RJ Barrett numbers real quick and read them off.
But they just wanted him to play for the Knicks. That is really all it is.
Pretty much.
RJ Barrett is averaging 18 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists on 40% shooting.
Oh, he's up to 40% now?
Yeah, it's just not. I don't know. I feel like he's been averaging 18 points a game since he got drafted.
Pretty much.
Okay,
his
so he averaged 40 points a game, 14 points a game his rookie season. Then he averaged 18 points a game his sophomore season. Then 20 points a game last year, and then 19 points a game this year. So it's like I don't know what he needs to
And
do.
he was
I guess he could do this forever.
He was what 43% from the field last year, I think, too.
Nah, he was 40%. He was 44% from the field his sophomore year. I would love to see him without Julius Randle, though.
I'd like to see him without Julius Randle too. I think they're a very bad duo together. And what's he shooting for three?
28%.
Oof.
He shot 32 his rookie year, then 40 the next, and 34 the year after that, and then 28.
Oof. Jesus, that's rough. See, I thought he was making the leap his second year too, and then he really crashed back down to earth. But like I said, bad coaching, bad fit next to Randall. So we'll see one of these days.
We'll see.
And I'll pull Laurie marketing numbers for this, on the season. I know the Jazz is coming back down to earth too, but he's having a very good year so far. So can't
22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists on 53% from the field and 40% from 3, and 82% from the free throw line.
Yeah, Danny did it again. What can we say? He fleeced 2 teams. Well, he didn't really fleece the same team, but he fleeced the mess out of the Timberwolves.
And like even though the Jazz have been struggling, it looks like Markkanen is still putting up good numbers. Like I mean, against the Clippers, he dropped 23-9. Chicago, he dropped 32-9. Phoenix, he had 15-10. Golden State, he had 24-6. Detroit, he had 13-8. And then he dropped 25-10, 23-10, 36-6, 13-6, and 15-10. So it's like he's still putting up solid numbers for the most part. Like even if the Jazz are coming back down to earth, and I think that's just from them playing better teams.
Yeah,
he's holding it down.
He's holding it down. And Rudy Gobert is in Minnesota, just doing whatever at this point.
I don't know. I still think he'll help them. I think once they figure out their offense, they'll be fine. I think he's helped them defensively more than anything.
Yeah, the offense is a mess because Ant didn't make the leap we thought he was going to make coming into the year.
Ant didn't make the leap. D'Lo stinks. And then for some reason, like the coach talked about, like they're going to run like spread pick and rolls now, and it's like, bro, you should have been doing this when Cat was playing. Like Cat is arguably the greatest center shooter ever, and you just now talking about spread pick and rolls? Are you crazy?
Come on, dog. Like you shooting yourself in the foot, like it's like better offensive execution is gonna save that team at some point. Because we knew Rudy's not the offensive guy. We knew that coming from the jump. And they didn't get him to go play offense. They got him to help secure the defense because Cat has never been a good defender. Well, I think Cat could be. Cat's not really a willing defender full time. I'll say that. So we'll see. Maybe Ant picks it up. Hopefully they trade D'Lo at some point.
Bro,
Trade him.
I think
This is a contract year, so they either got to trade him or just be okay with him walking in off. Either one works.
either one works.
So we don't see. But I think that's about it. But as usual, like I said, chip season ain't ducking no smoke from nobody. We don't see about some of these teams. We got some tough teams on schedule this month, so we don't see about them.
We are going to see.
We don't see about everybody. I think I got a notification that Jimmy posted something on his Instagram to say he don't be back for tomorrow's game, so we don't see about him.
Okay, we'll see.
We don't see about KD this weekend. Him and Kyrie, what they hit on. Toronto and whatever. We don't see about Phoenix next week, and I think we play both LA teams this month too, right?
Bro, I need us to smack the Lakers. Like smack.
Smash. Like, but see, LeBron is annoying though, because LeBron gets up to play us no matter what. It seems like.
Because he a dickhead. That nigga can't be having I feel like he could be having the most mid-season ever, and that nigga see the Celtics from the schedule and it's going to treat it like it's Game 7 because
it's Game 7, man. So like I said, we don't see about everybody though. That's all good. We got one more matchup with the Bulls next month. And do we play
I'm done playing them. I can't wait to be done playing them.
Do we got the Pelicans on the schedule this month and next month?
Sure. Let me look. We play the Pels January the 11th.
January, that's all right. So we got a little while. We don't see about Zion too, so that's cool. So before we leave, final as of this point, we are 18-4, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think we finish as?
66 wins.
56. It's possible. I ain't mad at it. I think we don't hit 60 for sure. I know that much.
Definitely hit 60.
We don't hit 60.
66, first in the East. I really can't. With us being 18-4 right now, I really can't see us losing more than Cause what is that? What is it? 16? We would have to lose 16 more games or 14 more games. Yeah, I don't really see us losing 14 more games over the rest of the season.
No, so I see it this way. We lost 2 games all the last month?
Bro, 2 games all last month. We're 13-1 in our last whatever game.
14. And honestly, this month is the tough part of our schedule at that. So if we make it out this month on top of the standings, it's up.
It is up.
It's up. It's whatever. We don't get Tatum in. We don't get Jalen into the All-Star game, of course.
Bro, that's gonna make my heart so happy.
I don't know what they was on last year when he was struggling to get some votes because Boston media wouldn't stop asking stupid questions every other day.
Chris Middleton got in and he did. I was saying
Fred VanVleet got in. Yo, Raptors bullied their way into getting Siakam all NBA, so we don't talk about that all the time, though.
I think Siakam had a really good season that year, so I'm fine with that. Tatum still got his first team, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but over Jimmy was crazy to me though.
Jimmy,
and the Heat was the top seed all year. I don't know. That was a little wild.
I don't know. Jimmy B is a very interesting regular season player. I really think he'll really have a game where he score 30 and his next game he'll score 4. But they'll just keep racking up wins because the Heat are arguably the best team in the league other than the Raptors at employing random people and having them score 15. I've never seen someone be able to collect such random talent. And I feel like if you put a random accountant in a Heat uniform, somehow that player would score 10.
That account is gonna max out for at least one season. When he do
Real
after
good
that 1
contract.
year, yeah, he don't max out at least 1 year, and then get paid, and then they'll probably be mid wherever else. I like Duncan Robinson.
Wow, we really got the better version of him.
We got Sam is him. Sam is that guy. We just gotta. I hope he found more minutes for Pritchard going forward too.
Mm,
So I get why
might
he
not
don't
be in the
play.
cards.
It might not, but whenever he get in, but I respect that he stay ready.
Yeah,
Whenever,
I can't be mad at him. I think he understands. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. For me, I feel like if I was in his direct position, I feel like I would enjoy not having to do that much, especially since he's probably still gonna get his money anyway and everything. And it's not like him playing a bunch of minutes was gonna get him a really big contract. Like the fact that he can kind of chill for the most part and play when he's needed is I would enjoy that personally.
I enjoyed it.
If I'm not gonna be a borderline all-star top player, like doing Pritchard's role is like the next best thing.
It's a very necessary role for every team too.
Yeah.
Because like you said, we saw last week during Sacramento, where the whole team just took their foot off the gas and was kind of just slugging to the end. Well, they threw him and Luke in the game, and they got busy for a couple of minutes and got us the lead again. So you can't never be mad at guys who understand their role and flourish at it at that. So shout out Pritchard. I was thinking we was gonna see him at some point last night, but I think they waited too long and there was no more room for him. So it is what it is. So shout out Pritchard, shout out Sam, shout out Cornette, Noah Vonleh, Blake Griffin, y'all cool too. We ain't forget about y'all.
Yeah, I love them boys. I love our end of the bench. This is one of
I,
I feel like we always have a likable end of the bench, except Justin Jackson. Fuck Justin Jackson. Got to get out of the way. Fuck Justin Jackson.
Justin Jackson is like a negative 45 net rating in like
Wow,
12
I don't know.
minutes on the season.
I seen him when the Hornets came. The Celtics played in Greensboro, and how he just kept shooting threes, which of course he's supposed to do. But it's like, bro, like there's no way that you are getting down like this, and very nasty thing to see.
Very nasty. Oh man, but yeah, shout out to everybody except Justin Jackson. But all right, brother, I enjoyed having you on. No, we don't pod a lot this season.
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Yes, sir. So that's what we keep winning.
Yeah, we will. So that means
And we
will.
will. Absolutely, absolutely. We don't find some cool guests to come on here and kick you with us too. All right, now we got some great things coming. We here.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. All right, my brother. Appreciate you, dog.
I appreciate you as well. Much love to you always.
Yes, sir. Always, always.